Alright, this video is going to walk you through how to find the missing side of a right triangle when given a side and an angle. The first thing you need to do is understand what kind of sides you have. The side you need to always identify first is your hypotenuse. That's straight across from your box or your 90-degree angle. So x in this case is your hypotenuse. The next thing you need to do is decide what is opposite, what is adjacent. Directly across from this 37 here, the angle that we're working with, this is your opposite side. Unfortunately, we do not have that side given to us. But right next to the 37 degrees, there is a 13 there, so that 13 is considered adjacent. So now, as we look at this problem, there is no opposite, so I'm just going to cross it out. So if we're trying to figure out what kind of function we're going to use to work with, you need to remember this phrase, SohCahToa. The so part of the word stands for the sine function, which relates the ratio of sides of the opposite side and the hypotenuse. In this case here, we do not have an opposite side, so therefore we cannot use the sine function. The ca part of this word, SohCahToa, stands for cosine. Cosine associates the ratio of adjacent side and hypotenuse. And yes, that's exactly what we have here in this problem. We have an adjacent side and a hypotenuse that we're working with. So we're going to be using cosine. But the reason why you could rule out tangent also is because it relates to the word, or the sides of the opposite side and the adjacent side. And again, we do not have the opposite side here, so therefore you cannot use tangent. So this problem is cosine, using the adjacent and hypotenuse sides. So next thing you need to know is the formula for cosine. Cosine's formula is going to be cosine of an angle that's given to you, in this case it's 37 degrees, equals your adjacent side, 13, divided by your hypotenuse, which is x. And if you fill that information in here, you get the formula that reads like this. Cosine of 37 degrees equals 13 over x. What you're basically looking at is a proportion. The proportion in this case is over 1, and you're going to try to cross multiply. But in this case here, whenever you have an x in the denominator, the reason why you're going to divide is you always multiply the diagonal that has the numbers in it first, that'd be 13 and 1, and divide by whatever's across from your variable. In this case here, it'd be cosine of 37. But in the actual calculation in the end, what you're going to find yourself doing is taking this 13 and dividing it by the cosine of 37. That's what you see up here. So therefore, we're going to be then taking our calculator out and going 13 divided by cosine of 37. Now, as you pull out your calculator, make sure you always press the mode key. Make sure you're in the degree mode. After pressing this key here, you'll notice that there's an option on the screen that says degree. Make sure there's a black box on it. But to finish the calculation, you're going to press cosine. First of all, you're going to type in 13, hit divide by, and then cosine of 37 degrees. And then you close the parentheses, and then you're all done. And then the answer comes out here to 16.277. But if you round that correctly, it's going to be 16.28 units for the missing side, which in this case happens to be your hypotenuse. So hopefully as you look forward to seeing more of these problems, make sure you're aware of what sine functions look like, what cosine functions look like, and tangent functions look like when you're given the information for the triangles. Good luck, and hopefully this video helps.